Hey, it's Ted here. I've got my first quarter students in their basic electricity class, and they're learning how to put circuits together, ignition circuits, starter circuits, and they're using circuit boards for this just to show how to wire things up. And they're also working on creating a wiring schematic just for practice so they understand the flow of electricity through the circuit. So let's go take a look and see what they're doing. All right, so we're walking in the lab and see what they're doing here. So they're working on rigging up key switches, relays, light bulbs to act just like a regular starter circuit. So we're using a box of different bulbs and switches. I've got some circuits over here. I'm just going over how the wiring from the key switch and the harness works, and then how that harness comes down and it goes to an engine harness, and then ultimately to a starter solenoid. So they're going to hook a starter solenoid up at the end of this. So you can see the light board, and they're creating their wiring diagrams over here. Having a great time, I can tell.
And then that goes from here down.
So at the end, what they'll do, is they're going to end up working to figure out how that comes down to a solenoid here in the starter, and how that's functional to a generator or an engine or even an outboard like this. So we'll transition over to live engines after this project's done next week, and they'll actually be working on the engine lab and following those circuits. Okay, so hey, you get to see what they're doing there, and I hope you like that video. It's a short one, but you get the feel for what I'm trying to teach them is the basics, the fundamental basics of how electricity flows through circuits. Ultimately they're going to come in here next week, and then they're going to work on these live engines. So they're going to come in here, same panel like that, and then we have some other panels that we've made up, and what they're going to do is they're going to go through these circuits, and they're going to get behind these panels. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to mess them up so they don't work right, and then they're going to come in here and they're going to trace out the circuits so they can figure out how to make them work, and how the electrons flow all the way up to the starter and ultimately to the starter housing. So it's a fun project, it's a great class, and I just wish I had more students I could train to put out in the industry, because I know how much the job opportunities are open right now. From around the country, down south, Florida, North Carolina, the Gulf area, I'd like to get students to come up here to New England to see what New England's like, but also to take these skills back home so they can become marine technicians, and they can fill in this job void for all these brand new boats that have been sold the last few years. So if you like the video, please subscribe, but also if you know anybody young or old that wants to get into this industry, make a lot of money, it's very lucrative right now, please feel free to call the college. And again, it is New England Institute of Technology. It's 401-739-5000. I'll see you in the next video.